I couldn't even tell you anyone.
The original top squad. The original top squad.
So what's the sort of main things that sort of piss people off when you're swimming in the lane? You were talking about it the other week.
I've been so spoiled, like the past, like
did you get well yourself?
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm not a good life, man.
Yeah, it's like council.
Pina colada.
The worst thing used to be people like stopping and like standing up at the flags, didn't it? That was horrific. Like just in the way.
Or somebody stopping in the middle of the lane and you just got that bullseye. I'm going to tumble turn on top of them.
Or like it's the worst. Like, especially when you get to the stage where people are like falling behind and then like they'll be doing kick and you're doing swim and then like you're swimming past and then you're doing kick.
Yeah, there's this new thing now that you swim side by side with kickboards.
This is a masters.
It's not a thing. I shouldn't be
asshole for that. It's just above all just laziness. If you're not willing to put in the effort, then don't come.
I know. I think as well something I've noticed more recently is like, obviously with swimming it's etiquette, so like see if you touch someone's toes you pull at the side and let them go in front. That's like the simple main thing. I remember I was swimming behind someone day like a couple of weeks ago. I was like touching my toes. I was like, he's just like, I'm like, mate, I'm trying to get past here. Like pull in, he's like still. I was like, mate, come on, like it's not like I'm under this.
It's like when someone's outside the motorway going like 40.
Yeah, you're like,
come on.
If you go on lane etiquette, finish the wall, move over, let the other guys in.
100%. And more time that doesn't happen. People are like standing, like as you say, standing between the flags and the wall, and it's like, come on, like I don't want to finish on your back. I don't want to swim back roll and whack you in the face and finish. I want to finish at the wall.
I think another big thing is like people's like actual attitude, like on poolside. So we like in Glasgow, like we've got a good group of guys, like a decent squad. I've been there for like five years I think now. And it's like, so if someone's come in and like, oh, like I don't want to be here, we'll just be like, go home then, mate. Like no one's forced you to be here. Like, don't bring down don't bring down like the morale of like everyone else is trying to like work hard here and like up for a session.
100%.
Like, oh, I don't want to be here. Like
I think as well that was allowed to happen sometimes. Depending on like sort of like, I mean obviously you wouldn't do it and stuff like that, but stuff like that, it was like people would go to the toilet for like, and they'd be like, you've been in the toilet for 15 minutes, and like coaches would just be like that. Like a very common one, Andy Kay used to have cramp and he used to be sitting at the poolside like milking a cat for 20 minutes and like Stuart McDougall's like, fuck off, like I don't want to swim, piss off, sorry. But it was just stuff like that, man.
What about the one where during a main set and then you all come into the wall and you're breathing out your backside, heavy breathing, like, right, who's had garlic for their dinner? Rule number one, nobody has garlic. Who's had spaghetti? You know what I mean? You're kind of waft of garlic in your face.
What's the sort of best sort of and worst pool in that same sentence that you've swam in? Like,
that's probably swimming more pools than me. Well, I've been around the world myself.
The pool in Tokyo was unbelievable.
Was it good? Was it class?
It's just like everything was just finished to like such a high standard.
Yeah.
The pool felt fast. Obviously, like 3 meters deep. All the lane ropes are unbelievable. The blocks like felt springy. Like
springy.
Almost. Yeah.
Wow.
It was unbelievable, and then the size of the venue as well was unbelievable. Like,
did you swim any PBs?
Almost like a stadium for
no PBs. I was like fairly close on like some of them events. I actually swam the same time. My 50 back that I went in the final Rio, like pretty much the exact same time.
Right.
Which is like not bad considering.
That's 4 years on.
Considering the preparation I had, like the preparation I had for Rio was definitely better than it was for Tokyo.
Why is that?
Just because I had like a little bit of time away, and then we had COVID and stuff, you know. So like
my
time out of the pool, like over those 4 years, is probably like the highest it ever been. For a multitude of reasons.
And you're on that bike as well
to reset.
So to actually go that time was. I was pretty chuffed with that. But yeah, the pool in Tokyo was unbelievable. Like, I think it's 15,000 seats, but all permanent seating as well. So I don't know if you guys ever saw like the pool for like London like Olympics.
Yes.
It had like the massive wing spot on it, but they were temporary, so they took them all off. But in Tokyo, it's all permanent seating. So it actually feels like a football stadium.
Football stadium for
It's
swimming.
huge.
That pool's going to stay there.
Yeah, well stay there. The Japanese will use it, and just small things like the changing rooms were
immaculate heating and all.
It's almost like you almost felt like you're in a hotel. Just like the Japanese have done it right.
What was Rio? Totally different.
The pool in Rio was amazing as well. Like the pool was really good, and like all the facilities in Rio were again amazing. It's just a shame that it's completely been left to rot. Like the pool in Rio now.
Have you ever seen that? All the facilities are all there.
Because obviously, because for like them, it's just the funding started to keep going.
They just don't have the funds. I think it was all the athletes village was meant to be like affordable housing, but so affordable that no one could afford it. It's just there. Like,
I know. Yeah, you've got the favelas and that there, so like I think there's bits of Rio that are like really sort of. I think it's like one extreme of the other sort of thing.
Yeah.
We've got bits that are really sort of rich and wealthy, and it's like favelas that are built on like
and
there's like cables going from one house to another, like in phone lines and just
it's amazing how close together like the two different sides of the coin are. It's like you have the beachfront apartments that like the millionaires have, and then literally a mile inland is the favelas where people are like stealing electricity from the mains because they're just like the people have literally nothing.
It's almost like cartels and stuff.
Exactly.
Like guns and stuff.
But like so close together. Like whereas like in the UK it's not really like that. You have like the really nice areas and you probably have to travel quite a bit.
Significant bit. Yeah.
I guess like the poverty's all relative. Like the poverty there is different to what it is here.
There's some government support.
Nothing. So it's a shame though. Like you almost sort of preferred the games to have been held somewhere else and some of that money being used to maybe help the people as well. As opposed to spending like billions on
and it just rots
stadiums that they'll never use again.
Crazy,
they were talking about like I can't remember what podcast it was, but they were talking about it getting to the stage where the Olympics is just held in the same venue like all the time.
Like a sort of neutral venue.
So that
makes
would be,
that would make sense.
With this global
just
warm better for the climate,
better for the environment.
That as well, and I think also just like economically, it's not making sense for countries to like host the Olympics. It's going to get to the stage where it's like Britain, America, like the best powerhouses in Europe,
because
they're hosting it.
Brazil really struggled to finish on time. Didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And like massively over budget as well. They all are massively over budget.
They're almost going to call him in for the bit joinery work at the end of it.
Is that what your mum and dad were looking at?
No.
Oh, me?
I was just looking at the camera.
I'm going to need some fixing in the kitchen. I have got my bag.
Chris Grabham was putting the screws in the nail at the end of it.
I think they really struggled to get that out in time.
So it's just like it's going to get to the stage where less and less countries are actually bidding for it because it's just so expensive. I think the budget for there's some interesting like little sort of videos on YouTube about it. I think the budget for like the Japanese Olympics was meant to be like $7 billion or something. And it ended up being like 3 times over budget. Like
I can imagine. But like
obviously COVID had something to do with that as well. But like companies they can't justify that. Like,
I know. It's like the designer will probably think like, do you know what, this is what it's going to be like, and it's like the project manager guy's like, well, that's fucking like 3 times over what we were meant to have.
They had it. That's actually one of the main reasons the cost was so high. So the stadium that they had for like the opening ceremony, like the athletic stadium in Tokyo, I can't remember the name of the stadium, but they wanted it to be sustainable and made from like recycled material as much as possible. And like they're like, the guy came back, like the architect, after designing it. It was like, yep, here's the design. Like it costs like $4 billion, and then like the entire budget for the games is $7 billion. And he's like, in this one stadium will be $4 billion.
That's like
the medal's not made out of in Tokyo recycled mobile phones.
Something like that. I wouldn't get one. Cheers, Chris. So then if one was your age man, if I won a medal and it was made from a new Samsung, I won 18 karat gold.
I won't really sell this as other
So what worst pool you've swam in, Andrew? What's your kind of worst one?
Worst pool?
Eastwood High School.
No, I don't like East Kilbride. I feel like it's like swimming through mud. Yeah. Do you know it was a bad pool, but I kind of loved it? Johnson.
I thought
that pool was falling apart.
What about Elders?
I've fond memories.
Johnson is not 25 metre.
Yeah, it was.
Was it not?
No.
Was that not?
It was over 25 metre.
Yeah, it was like
20.
It was like half a year long or something.
No. It was, I don't know, 200 millimetres or something.
Over?
Which can be equate to maybe a second.
Yeah, if you're something like a 400, that's a lot.
So the story goes back in the day when my uncle swam at Paisley, they ended up getting a measuring tape out because they were all swimming slow. And they measured it, and it was like, it's 25 point whatever. So at competitions, that's why that thick white thing went in. To bring it back down to 25 metres.
So it did. I mind that.
Yeah, that pool was. I have like a lot of fond memories. But I remember being in that. We used to have like the club champs there and stuff. That was great fun.
The Ren meet.
That was. I mind that.
I remember being in that pool one morning session. So it's like 5 in the morning, and like went into a cubicle just like half asleep. And sat down the bench, and the bench just snapped. Like instant snap. Just like wood rot. Sort of like the pool was just falling to pieces.
I thought you were going to say you went into the pool there and before you went in, your trunks were blue. When you came out, they were white. The chlorine levels were insane in there. You had to bleach your costumes and stuff.
Elderly. Eldersley it's obviously not completely knocked down, it's flattened. It's a big field that says no ball game. But that was one of my favourite pools just because I like so many good memories.
But I would have probably said that would have been like, I would probably say my best pool I probably swam would probably maybe Stirling or the new Linwood.
Linwood's nice.
I think, but I was thought like Eldersley, I kind of didn't, like, obviously you've got fond memories of it, like, obviously because you've got swimming with the Jays and that, and I know people that, like Eldersley was brilliant, but like, I remember just have the memory of it being like 20 folk crammed into a lane on Sunday, like, and then you couldn't see like 2 feet in front of you, a foot in front of you. The deep end was like 10 degrees colder than the shallow end. Like you would swim up and you would feel that like the circulation in the pool was ridiculous. You could swim up and be like, I'm boiling up here. Who turned the heat on?
It's definitely just like the nostalgia that like. I love that just because like so many funny funny stories. Like, I remember. Do you remember the beams? And remember the beams they had on like the roof?
It was similar setup to you.
It was like one of the funny like. Remember me and James were saying to Ryan like, because Ryan was massive when he was like a teenager, like really tall, and we said to him like, a tenner, like you can jump and like reach that beam. And he was like, sound. So he like gets up on the block.
On the block?
Yeah, and Andy's just like, oh fuck's sake. So he was like, oh, should I just like jump, grab it, and then
like a sort of like
swing it,
like a trapeze,
like obviously what else would you do? So
I know what a triple
grab. So he's standing on the block and he jumps and like swings onto this beam and we're like, alright, fair play, like that's a good jump. And then he swings out and he's not let go. And then he swings back and then lets go like on the backswing and just crumbles on the floor, like lands back on the poolside. We were just like, oh my god, like he couldn't have done that if he tried.
I'm so glad I never done that.
Why didn't you let go? And he was just like, oh, I forgot. It's like he had one job, was to let go. Oh, it was one of the funniest memories. Me and James still talk about that like frequently.
Obviously, Chris, what was your kind of best and worst pool swimming?
Best would probably be I'm trying to think. Would be Sheffield.
Sheffield,
that's the fastest pool. Well, it was one of, if not the fastest pool in Britain. Just the sheer scale, the size of it.
Pondsport just.
You always swam fast when you.
I saw him so many PVs
when you went there. I would probably say that would be the best. No, I take it all back. Nielsen swimming pool.
Nielsen. Just for the.
I just love that pool.
It's nice. I should have a carbon copy of.
It's a carbon copy of Eldersley. But flip drowned.
100%.
So I don't know whether that pool was 24 point whatever metres. I always loved.
It was a good pool actually.
Nielsen swimming pool. I don't know why.
It's a nice pool. It's funny that how you get sort of like emotionally attached to swimming pools.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you kind of
people who don't swim don't understand.
I'm devastated how that Johnston's not there, and I drove past it not that long ago, and it's some council building. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It was like I remember like we were going in and you were like, this is like
but
it was
they deliberately done that though.
It was
they never spent a penny on it to justify building the new one. Do you know what I mean? So they have to be seen to let it wind down.
And I think that's why they
crumble.
Built Linwood. So I think that's probably what the council were thinking of, build Linwood. These two pools down, but I suppose you're still shy of a pool at the end of the day. So.
They're still shy of it. And Eldersley, a lot of people saying Eldersley petitioned against it because they were having to travel to Linwood.
Especially older people.
Older people.
Because there was like had a sort of like regular clientele, didn't it? They would come in and swim.
All the pools have got to be.
My grandpa, like Eastwood Park, he's still like
still goes.
Yeah. Do you know it's a great pool that like I completely forgot about because I swim there all the time. Tollcross. Tollcross is a great pool.
Yeah.
It's right on our doorstep, but it's fantastic. I'm so
Scottish Masters next year.
I swim there all the time, but it's such a nice pool.
Sorry, Scotland, Tollcross.
So nice. Definitely the best pool in Scotland.
By
for competitions, for sure. It's way nicer than the Commie in Edinburgh.
That's faster.
It's faster.
Is that the Commonwealth pool? I swam in that.
It's nice.
Schools,
I like Tollcross. Glasgow, you know. Can't be saying the pool in Edinburgh's better than Glasgow.
I know.
No, I think there's something as you walk through the doors of the Commonwealth pool in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
You get a wee shiver. I don't know why. There's a lot of history there. Commonwealth Games in '76, and then the Commonwealth Games there in '84.
Yeah,
or was it '84 an Olympic year?
Not
'82, '84. Los Angeles Olympics '88. I don't know. Doing maths here. '86.
88 would be an Olympic year. So
86. 86. It had the '86 Commonwealth Games there. And you go in and it's just massive. And they fixed it up for the Commonwealth Games for Glasgow because that's where they held the diving there. It was, there's a lot of memories of watching my uncle swim there, and obviously I got to swim there. I had a couple of good swims in that pool. Worst pool? Oof, that's a tough one.
Some rotters.
There is some bad ones out there, but any pool that the high levels of chlorine, which just is
just coming out,
it's like kryptonite for a swimmer.
Sneezing,
coughing.
Whole drive home.
I remember one session, one of the girls' swimming costumes just bleached.
Yeah, just so strong.
Your skin coming out, and you go through puberty, you get a few spots, and you come out of the water, and your face is just killing, which is harmful to you. And then waking up at 3-5 in the morning, coughing your guts up, chlorine cough.
It's actually it's really bad for you.
I know.
Chlorine gas is what they used to kill the Jews.
It was in that.
And I mean, so you're getting that, and when you're breathing,
it all floats on the surface of the water.
It just you float.
It's like a haze.
Johnston and Eldersley, there's two inch pools were always bad for it.
It definitely was bad for it. I just think because of the walls.
So do you have any sort of embarrassing memories of the on the poolside or moments in the pool? Like ones you were like
moments in the pool,
or like just in the sport.
I remember. I've never really had that many like embarrassing moments in swimming, but I think it's because I've always taken it so seriously.
Yeah.
You know, so I've always been pretty dialed into what I was doing. But I remember there was once I was doing a relay at that.
It always involves a relay.
It was that that meet that we were talking about that I first started at down in Sheffield.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So it was like para short course that they have every sort of like November, December time usually.
Yeah.
And I had swam. It was they used to do so like Scotland used to race against like the different districts from England and then Ireland and Wales. It was like a points championship. I was like, I'll swim. I was like wanted to win it. Like I'll swim everything. So I swam so many events, and then they were like, right, relay. And I had just come out of an event and then like into relay. And it was like a medley relay.
Right.
And my head was still racing. I was still knackered from the last event. And I was on the breaststroke. I was a 4 for the breaststroke.
Yeah.
So they could have like a higher class swimmer on one of the other strokes. And I just dove in and did like 12 fly kicks. And I was like, oh no. like, wasn't even thinking. Like, I was like thinking it was freestyle. Straight in. I was like, oh, do you know that way? I was like,
we're gonna get DQ'd here.
I was like, come up at 15 metres. I was like, wonder if they noticed. They're not missing that.
They're not going to miss that.
What be yourself, Chris?
Diving, doing a false start for a 1500 from
no. How, was it like so early that you didn't have to do the race, or did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. To be fair, it would almost have been worse if you'd like just full started and then swam a 1500.
And then it's like, oh, so
that probably would be.
It's like a one race where it doesn't matter. Like reaction time just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like keep it under a second and you're just fine.
I know. You could be late, like a second late off the box, and it'd be better. Yeah.
Training would have been not personally me, but we had two incidents. One guy walked out on the poolside with his swim bag on his shoulder and his socks still on.
Oh, that's a filter.
And then one guy went out, but we actually stopped from happening. He was about to walk out on the poolside with his bollock hanging out his trunks.
That would have been a hell.
That's bad. I like when I registered in that public pool.
His balls hanging outside his trunks.
So if you had your prime swimming career again, would you do anything differently?
Well, he's still in his prime.
My prime was a while ago.
I'm just a has-been there.
You do, mate.
I'll leave this question first. If I could do something again, what would I do? I think, no disrespect to Graham Wardell, he was a fantastic coach for me. I swam my fastest times under him, but I would have jumped ship and went to Stirling with Grant Robbins. I was still in school at the time, so I don't know how that would have worked commuting to. But for me, working with Grant as the head coach at Rennes, and he left quite unexpectedly for all of us. Would have been to go and work under him again there. I would say pretty much I did everything else right. I stayed away from women. I stayed away from drink. I didn't have a social life. 110% committed to swimming. There was nothing else that I could have done, although nowadays I would have recognised it, and I don't know if I would have recognised it as a teenager, would be get more involved with a sports psychologist. Because as we'd spoken in the podcast with you before, I didn't have it up there, the killer instinct on the block, I'm going to beat you, and I would have been at work.
Internal confidence.
Internal confidence,
I don't know, for me, like, I don't really think there's much I would change, really. And I think in the past I've kind of spoke about balance, and like in the lead up to Rio, I just didn't have any balance, and I was just like sort of fully committed to swimming, and like didn't spend pretty much any time with like friends or family at all, really. But like in a way, it's not like the worst approach, you know. Like sometimes you just have, sometimes you just have to, sometimes you have to go there, like
you go to that place to excel really well in what it is you're trying to do.
You know, like performance sport, like at the end of the day, that it's not meant to be comfortable. You know, it's meant to be challenging. Otherwise everyone would do it.
It's 110% first tilt.
You just have to go to those places. It can be hard. It can be hard, but you just have to like persevere through it. So no, there's not really much I would change, and I don't think it's like nice to look back on like a career and be like, oh, I would have changed this, would have changed this, because you end up just like being filled with like a lot of regret. And it's important. Like for me, I like to look back and sort of appreciate the opportunities I've had, and I've been like, oh, like I've done a lot. Like like I always said when I was younger, like, oh, I really want to win like a Paralympic gold medal. It's like I've got a silver now. Like if I retire from swimming, I'm not going to be like, oh, damn it, didn't win a gold. Like don't really care. You know, like there's so much more.
Could be worse. Could have got bronze. You know?
I got 2 of those as well.
But it's silver.
But it's you know, it's just
you're there.
Whenever I like stop sounding like at the level I am now, I'd like to look back on it for like favourable memories, you know. Because it's been such a big part of your life. It'd be a shame if you look back and
you really have regrets in life. Well, have a few. To me,
it's one thing when I was coming up through the sport, and when I was on the British team in the early stages, I used to see a lot of swimmers who were kind of like forced out of like performance sport because they weren't like quite good enough yet, and they kind of just trickled out, you know, like burnt out. And I was like, whenever I stop, I want it to be on my own terms. You know, like die on your own sword, as they say.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
So
carrying on too long. You can carry on too long
exactly.
in Paralympics, can't you?
Just definitely. For sure.
Remember what Big Jim?
He was swimming for forever.
What, in his 40s?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Man.
Joe,
he was swimming for a long time.
I think you've left something out there, though. Like, collaborate with me again.
Hire Chris again.
So I dust off the
and
that would have been fun.
so last question, it's just a wee fun one, right? What two scoop, you probably know Valentini's at Givenlock, your two scoop combo,
shop, isn't it?
it's brilliant, but they've got like a massive selection of ice creams.
Just the ice
Two scoop tub combo, what are you going for?
Carly Willy, what? Does that get pubes in it?
Sounds wrong, doesn't it? I think I'm like cookie dough and raspberry ripple probably.
That's quite potent, mate. That's quite good. That's quite good.
I like raspberry ripple.
I
love cookie dough.
That's class.
I would be Galaxy Caramel.
Right.
And vanilla.
Chris is very vanilla.
Basic.
Not a word I've used to describe Chris.
Not as a coach.
Well, lads, all I can say is thanks very much for coming on. It's been absolutely brilliant catching up. I think we covered a lot of ground. That's what I even said to you. Like when we done them, was we get like 3 of us in a room. And just
it's easier when there's 3 people in a room, isn't it? You kind of like feed off of each other a little bit.
100%.
It's more conversational, as opposed to just like Zoom calls.
1 and 2 is like.
I think they're convenient, but they're not the same, is it?
It's not. I know, because you could like it's like almost one person sort of talks at a time, and like if someone else talks, it's like it sort of delays and stuff.
Yeah.
And that, so.
I don't even feel like the old person in the room here.
You're not old, Chris.
No, 40 next year, but.
Oh, we get an invite to the 40.
But I don't. Yeah.
Only as old as you feel.
Only as cool.